available in bookstores. Now you can pitch your book.
All right, third time's a charm. I've been recording this video. I don't want it to be too long, but if you're not already following Shauna Miles, she's an awesome, dope author. I've told you about her books. She's different. We went to the same high school from the same hometown, but she's different in the sense that she's traditional published. I am a self-published author. And Naima, and I think I'm saying it wrong, Naima Forna, who wrote The Gilded Ones, she perfectly articulated and said the big difference between self-published and published. Self-published, you're putting forth the work. I could just write my book and send it off and they do whatever. We don't do that with self-published. Um, Nevertheless, some misnomers is very expensive. It's not as expensive as you think. As I've gone through this process, I'm going through this process for the fifth time. I'm learning where I can save money because I've learned, oh, I can use this service. Fiverr is a great source to use that a lot of people underestimate. I don't recommend using them for editing, but for your book cover creation, or formatting it, for formatting your book, Fiverr is a great resource. Another thing people don't realize when it comes to distribution of your book, you have sites like Ingram Spark. I have not used Draft Digital. There's some other sites out there. My go to right now is Ingram Spark. And even what I'm doing now on the fourth or fifth time around is I'm going through Book Logics to print my books. And then I'm going to go through Ingram Spark later to print more books because they're taking a little bit too long to get what I need because they're backed up. And I get that. So I had to get a secondary printer, but I had to research it on my own. Also, getting items in a bookstore is not as hard as you think it is. Um, so pretty much when it comes to, what is it? Barnes and Noble, my first two books, I went to my local Barnes and Noble and told them the books are offered online. Can you offer the books in the store? Books a Million might be slightly different. I haven't tried them yet, but I have heard they've been more lenient than they were before. When it comes to getting to libraries, I think part of my advantage is I have a personal relationship with people in my former district I used to work with. I have family members who are educators. So, one of the things that one of my cousins, who's a principal, admitted, she's purchasing a copy for her librarian to preview. And then from there, they can make the decision whether they want to add it to their library. This is why it is so important for those of you, and this video is going a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I want to emphasize this point and I'll probably chop it up and put it up in points. Y'all, this is why it's so important to give independent authors reviews because Shauna made a point about getting professional reviews from the American Library Association. Well, because I'm self-published, I can't get a, an opinion from the American Library Association, which is crazy because if I pay a vendor fee, I can be an exhibitor. I can be a vendor at their thing. Yeah, but you won't give me an opinion on my work. And it is what it is. So I have reached out to authors. I got one who's willing to do it. I have other people. You have what is called book influencers. Um, they're always talking about books. I know someone told me don't get caught up in the amount of followers they have. If you see a genuine traction and you feel genuine about them reviewing your book, do that. So I have at least 5 to 6 people that I have reached between authors, um, book influencers, who have agreed, yes, I will review your book. This is why it's so important, even as readers, period. Review people's books, put it on Goodreads, put it on Amazon. If they have an area on their website, which I'm still working on, have it on their website. So that way people can see, oh, all these people liked your book. Okay. I say Amazon because Amazon is the easiest way. Nevertheless, you have Goodreads and some other websites. Don't just make a social media post, which I'll admit I'm bad about doing. I make social media posts, but I don't go on actual websites that can build traction or go on their website where it can build traction, which we got to do a better job of doing. This is a great point. So, with the traditional published author, first I have to find a literary agent. There are some people who admit it took years for that to happen. You have to have patience. But once it happens, it happens. Like, there are plenty of authors who I can go down the list. Shauna Miles is one of them who's experienced a level of bliss. For some, it's a level of wealth that they never experienced, from Disney deals to multiple publications once they find a literary agent and the publishing company picked them up. Jason Reynolds is a good example. Nick Stone. I'm thinking about one of Ibby Zaboa. There's another young lady I follow on here who Disney picked up her book. It's about zombies, and so if I can find pictures, I will post that up here. But on top of that, that happens. But there's a level of wealth and there's a level of exposure that comes with self-publishing, but also the rate at which you receive it. I don't have to stop for literary agent as a self-published author. If I want to publish a book tomorrow, I can. Now, granted, is it that quick? No. But as far as going through the copyright process, the editing process, and deciding when I want to put my book out there, I never forget when Nick Stone, and keep in mind, I'm a self-published author, but I learned from both. I learned from self-published authors and traditionally published authors. And Nick Stone admitted that Dear Martin was not the first book that she wrote. I want to say Chaos Theory was the first book that she wrote, and that was book way down the line that was finally published, because you can't just put out a book because you want to put out a book as a traditionally published author. You have to put out what they want to put out for you. Some people have more say with that. But again, you really have to do your research. If you're a person of faith, if you're a person who has a relationship with God, pray about it. Because I believe whatever way you choose, he will make it prosperous. One is not better than the other as far as superiority or being superficial, but nevertheless, some fit people better than the others. And you have to find what works for you.